Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of Moosemeister Plays Victoria 2. I am, obviously, Moosemeister, aka Dylan with an I, and this is Victoria 2 with the Heart of Darkness expansion, as well as the A House Divided expansion. So this is a strategy game, a grand strategy game, as it's known, created by Paradox Interactive, a company that does several titles of grand strategy games, including Crusader Kings 2, Europa Universalis 4, Victoria 2, and Hearts of Iron 3. Victoria 2 is my favorite of their games, and covers the Victorian era, hence its name, of 1836 through 1936, a time period which encompasses a lot of history for one century. Things such as industrialization, the American Civil War, World War I is probably the most prominent event. So you see a lot of change. Anywho, as this is the first series I will be doing on this channel, I thought I would start off nice and easy with a France campaign. Now, some of you may be wondering, amongst people who watch YouTube videos of Paradox's games, a lot of you probably watch Arumba, including me. I watch his channel as well. He's quite the good, he runs quite the good YouTube channel. And just the other day, he too began a Victoria 2 series, which sort of inspired me to do my own series. Now, of course, I was intending to do a series on Victoria 2 anyway, as it's my favorite strategy game, and really, it's my favorite video game in general. I love this game. I've played over 400 hours of this game, which actually isn't very much for this sort of game, but, you know, still a lot. However, Arumba's just starting off his Victoria 2 career. He doesn't really know much about the game because he hasn't played much of it. And so, as I, on the other hand, don't know that much about Europa Universalis 4 and Crusader Kings 2, which he's an expert on. I'm a bit of an expert on Victoria 2. I thought it would be kind of fun to do one sort of parallel to his. Now, of course, this is a very new channel, and hence does not currently have nearly the amount of reach his does. So I doubt I'm going to get much viewership, but, you know, gotta start somewhere. I do apologize for this, but the game music seems to be a bit loud, so I'm just going to turn it down. That's better. Hopefully that sounds okay in the finished product. I'm sure I'll make it work somehow. Alrighty. So, here we are. France. You know, looks like France. It says France on it. It's clearly France. I'm not going to do, like, tutorializing or anything. I'm just going to play. I also am not going to do a, you know, world conquest sort of thing, or, we're going to take over all of Europe, dismantle Germany, and beat up on the UK. I'm just going to kind of have fun. Of course, I'll try to play well, and I will, almost certainly manage to reach number 1, unless something goes horribly wrong, because France is one of the strongest nations in the game, and as you can see, starts out rank 3. And can generally obtain rank 2 without much difficulty. So yeah, that's the plan. Not much else to say about it. Oh yes, that's what I was going to say. I am using one mod. It's the Country Colors Alpha 3. I believe it's Alpha 3, Alpha C, something like that. It's the Country Colors mod anyway, which, as you can see, if you're someone used to the normal-looking Victoria 2 map, makes the map a bit flatter. I think it looks better this way. It also recolors a lot of nations, like, for example, 2 Sicilies, and changes their colors slightly depending upon their form of government, which I think is really fun just to look at, and I feel gives a very neat effect. Like, when they turn communist, for example, their color gets a reddish tint. So, Spain right now is yellow. When they turn communist, When they turn communist, they turn orange. France turns kind of pinkish. Sweden does too. When they're fascist, they get darker. It's just kind of neat to look at. Gives you a nice appearance. Because the game does this by default for 2 countries. Fascist Germany is almost black, instead of the normal brownish grayish thing. And the Soviet Union is bright red instead of the green that Russia usually is. So this mod just adds it for all countries. Well, I don't think it's all countries yet. It's all major countries. Close enough. So, without further ado, let's begin. I'm going to keep episodes to somewhere like 20 minutes-ish. That seems like a good length. So I probably won't get very far in this particular episode, which is okay because I've forgotten to have a drink nearby. So my voice is already kind of sore. It's going to get really hoarse by the end of this video anyway. Yeah. Oh, and one more thing. If you hear a fan noise in the background or some sort of roaring of some sort, that's my fan. Because I am in a east-facing room. So the windows face east, which means I get all of the sunlight. It's predicted to hit 90 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is 30-something for you Celsius folks. And this room is like 10 degrees hotter than the rest of my house. So if I don't have that fan on, I'm gonna like get heat stroke and die horribly. So excuse me. So you just, you know, it's just a thing. I apologize. I don't want to have a fan on, but it's the middle of June and it's the middle of July. I know what month it is, don't worry. I go outside sometimes. Yeah, it's the middle of July, which means it's just going to be hot. I'm just going to have to run the fan. So I do apologize for that. It'll go away come the fall. So, here are our armies. I don't like the way they lay out French armies at the beginning of the game. I think they're kind of messy and weird. Like this one, almost entirely infantry with 1 artillery. This one's pretty well balanced, though I'd put more artillery in it. This one's purely cavalry, and this one's all guards. Like, what the heck? Why? Those aren't functional armies. So, I have to rearrange them. But first, here's our factories. I always click show empty states. I don't know why they're hidden at the beginning. I'm not going to worry about these too much right now. What I am going to worry about... Well, actually, this Liberal Party is interventionism. Which isn't bad. And my Conservatives have laissez-faire. That's weird. Alright, I'll leave that Liberal Party in place. Crank up the taxes on them. No taxes on the rich. Full education, full administration. That's kind of annoying how limited it is, but that's okay. I don't need subsidies, although I can probably afford them. I'm not at war, who cares? And get encouraging bureaucrats, because... Yeah, definite lack of bureaucrats. Now, I also want more national focus points because I can have up to 20, which I believe technology maxes out at 7. So, right at the start of the game, I've got more national focus points than I can possibly access in the entire game. Anyway, I want access to them. They're very important. So let's rearrange these armies. This one's actually quite good. But these are not... I don't even like guards that much. They can only come from your primary culture, which I find quite annoying. It really cuts down on the soldier pops from, say, Africa or Asian colonies. And, they're not that much better than infantry while being a lot more expensive. So I tend to just never use them, honestly. I just use infantry for the whole game. They're good cannon fodder. By the end of the game, you know, you're rolling tanks and airplanes around. By the way, airplanes can't fly. It's really weird. They're just like a guy. There's no airplane symbol, even though there's a tank. Like, you know how there's a cavalry or whatever? When you get tanks, it is a tank. But the airplane is just a guy standing there. If you have the sprite pack, which I don't because I'm a cheapskate, he has a little airplane symbol over his head. But why isn't he an airplane? And why can't they cross water? It's really weird. Are they, like, towing the airplanes around on trucks? I never got it. Oh yes, I also have armies down here in Algeria. Quite the significant forces, actually. Now, I can, and the AI France does annex Algeria right at the start of the game, which may be a good idea. They do have a lot of iron. I do like iron. I'll think about doing that. And yes, I do have a line offer from the Papal States, which I will accept because they are in my sphere. I will also influence Sardinia Piedmont to get them into my sphere. Right, the armies. Stop getting distracted. That one's pretty okay. What's my... See, I don't have medicine research or anything, so I have really low supply limits right now, which is irritating. I'm going to split this in half. I'm going to split this in half. I'm going to send one up there. And I'll move this over here. And then I will queue up a lot more. Probably use some artillery in Africa too. Alright. Now, something I always forget to do. Great powers can only ally with one other great power before great wars are unlocked around 1900. Which means that if you're a great power, which France obviously is, and you don't get a great power ally before unpausing the game, they'll all ally with each other and you're screwed. So I gotta get a great power ally fast. Now the question is, who to pick, because everyone hates me. Prussia doesn't like me, Russia really doesn't like me, which is irritating, especially since the AI, France and Russia usually ally. The US likes me, but they're so far away and probably won't accept anyway. Yeah, see, they never accept. Although I could influence them into accepting. Spain is weak. Austria is weak, but would accept and is better than my other options. I like Prussia, but they want Alsace-Lorraine. So they'll backstab me at some point anyway. Plus, they're not an available option. They'll probably go with the UK. So I'm going to ally with Austria. Yeah, my throat's already killing me. Okay, that should be about it, honestly. Let's unpause. Austria accepted. We're making tons of money. I'm just going to unsubsidize everything and let the capitalists handle that. Merge these armies together. It's being kind of laggy. I wonder why. It might be the recording. I don't know. It wasn't laggy before. I've recorded a bunch of videos before, and then either not uploaded them or uploaded them and taken them down. About 20 people. Oh, good. 3.3 prestige. Relation with USA changed by 25. And all pops with 5% more liberal, which I'm fine with. I have the liberals in power. I like the liberals. Anyway, I uploaded 2 episodes of a Crusader Kings 2 game that was supposed to be a Paradox mega campaign that about 20 people have seen. Which is actually pretty good for a channel this new. Anyway, that's gone, as those 20 people may or may not have noticed. I can create a state in French Newfoundland. Why would I want to? There are, what, 500 people in this entire state who have right now as a colony. I just don't see that benefiting me at all. Do I gain anything? I guess I'm not paying colonial maintenance. Yeah, I gained 5 colonial points and some prestige. Okay. I guess it's worthwhile. Plus I make that annoying icon go away. But yeah, so, you know, sphere. Good, good. They are now in my sphere. I'm just going to influence Papal States up to 102. That allows me to be lazy if the AI decides to try to influence my sphere. Sure, whatever. If the AI tries to influence my sphere, yeah, I won't be picky about whose side I'm on. Then I can just leave it at 100, influence, and kick them out entirely. Although they come back. It's really annoying. I find spheres a very annoying mechanic, kind of like the papacy in Europa Universalis 4. Yes, I will send an expedition before this latest patch. because you had to manually manage all of your cardinals before this latest patch, and it was a serious hassle. So I've got soldiers popping up everywhere. Yeah, Belgium, whatever. And Netherlands, sure. I'm not going to deal with them until they've all... Yeah, I'll deal with them in a moment. Yes. I've been playing a lot of Europa Universalis 4 recently, and it's really nice to not have to worry about losing diplomacy points from having too many allies, because that's a serious problem in Europa Universalis 4, and I always have to really carefully consider, you know, do I want to ally with this person? Are they worth the diplo cost, etc.? Would I have a better ally? And then I also have to worry about losing the prestige from getting called into war. But I don't care about any of that in this game. I mean, yes, it does cost some prestige, but look, I'm #1 in the world. What do I care? Yeah, they can be more liberal. I've got the liberals in power. Alright, so all of those brigades are recruited. I'm just going to pause and rearrange stuff. Those are all my guards. This one needs some more artillery. Let's give them 2 more. This one needs more cavalry and artillery. And, like, artillery looks like a guy, too. Couldn't it look like a cannon, like the icon? I just find it mildly annoying. Maybe I should just buy the sprite packs. That I can't tell them apart. This has no artillery. Jeez. I like artillery a lot, if you hadn't noticed yet. Let's send most of this cavalry up with the guards. Unless I've forgotten something that should do it. I also have all these navies, which are actually quite impressive. I have 2, also. I'm just going to combine those. Why do I need 2? That'll allow me to ferry troops over, and if I get into a conflict with the UK, I send them over here and blockade the channel here, the Straits of Dover, which will not allow them to land troops, because if there's no blockade here, or if you control the blockade, you can just walk troops over. You don't need transport ships, which is really convenient if you're fighting the UK. You can basically shut them out of Europe entirely. Unfortunately, the UK tends to have a super powerful navy, and so you have to be able to outmatch that. But, you know, I can deal with it. France has so much money. It's really lovely. Make more factories, you capitalists, you. I gotta keep an eye on my influence and on my bureaucrats. That's another thing I wish this game had. A way to just put these at the top of the list, because these are what I care about. I don't care about all of these armies, although I should combine them. But I never really use this list thing to look at militaries or navies or something. I use it to pay attention, or factory construction. When you're building a lot of railroads, factories, and ports, this thing gets huge. But what I care about is way at the bottom, national focuses and influence. Like, see, there's no notifier. I'd have to look over here to find out that Papal States was done and Sardinia Piedmont's done now. Anyway, who do I want to influence? Egypt's always nice. I like taking Korea, but the US is usually a pain about that. Alright, let's try it. They've got lots of something. Iron and coal. Very useful. And the Netherlands has in fact won that war, unless the UK can beat them and Prussia, but that usually doesn't happen. In fact, they might get humiliated. When this happens for the Netherlands, firstly, it looks pretty nice, but the Netherlands usually become rank 7 or 8 for the entire game. Which, you know, that's fine. I don't care. So I am coming up on 20 minutes. I never know how to do a graceful ending to these videos. They always seem to end so abruptly. Yeah, I don't care about the Swiss opinion of me, so I will demand that they extradite him. What are the Prussians doing? Why are they just standing there? Oh, they're trying to occupy the Channel Islands. The AI is getting confused. So they keep marching, and then the British move their boat in, so they can't move across that land. Yeah, whatever. Piss the British off. Get a CB against them. A CB against them. So I could take any British colony, including India. See how I have Pondicherry? My friend's pronunciation is horrible, by the way. So that probably didn't sound anything like what it was supposed to. But, yeah. Taking British Madras would be pretty great, really. Anyway, I'll think about that next time. And I am ending this video here. Thank you very much for watching. Please come back next time for more Victoria 2 action. Thanks.